In version 5 of PineScript, TradingView added few pretty interesting functions to work with strings. So in this video, let's quickly go through this function so you can understand what you can do with strings. So as usual, I created for you like a small widget, and here on the left you can see the code I'm running, and on the right you can see result of the code execution. So let's start with str.length. It's quite a simple function. You can pass a string to this function and it will output number of char in this string. So as you can see, quite simple. And of course, if we'll pass like empty string, you will receive 0 as a number of char in the function. So next, let's check a few functions that are responsible for modifying your string. So first of all, you have to function strlower and strupper. They do basically opposite things. So strlower will convert all your letters in your string to lowercase, and strupper will convert all letters to uppercase. Also, you have str.substring function, and with this function you can get a substring of your string, and there is two ways you can use this function. So first one, you can just list only one index, and in this case PineScript will get like all remaining string starting from this index, but also you can pass two indices, and PineScript will get you substring from index 1 to index 2, and it will exclude index 2. So here, for example, I get letters from 2nd to 4th, and I get only 2 letters, so basically with index 2 and 3. Here are also a bunch of functions you can use to convert strings into numbers and number into strings. Let's go quickly through these functions because I already shown you them, one majority of them in previous videos. So first there is a function str to number, and it's quite simple. You can just pass a string to it and it will output you a numeric representation of the string. And if it can parse it, you'll receive like a number. If like format will be invalid and PineScript cannot parse a number from it, you will get not a number value as a result of this function. Also, you have str to string function, so you can just convert numbers to string this time. And here you can see that you can use it like that just to transform a number to string, but also you can specify like custom like formats for your conversion. And here you can specify some mask, like I have it here. So this way I just show PineScript that I want to have one digit after the comma. But also you have some custom formats like percent format, like volume format, and so on. I described this function in details in another video. You can check it. Another interesting function is str format function, and it works a bit differently. So idea for it is that you can pass to this function pretty complicated string, so pretty long one, and you can put there numerous placeholders. So by placeholder I mean like a placeholder in the curly brackets you see here, and you can have multiple placeholders, and in this function after this initial string you can put different numbers and strings, and PineScript will automatically replace all these placeholders with like your values. And also if you have like a custom format in your placeholder, and when I have in the first example, it will always also adjust format for your number, so it's quite useful. And here you can see I have example their format function with a few placeholders. So here I have 3 placeholders, and I have to list 3 values in my function to replace all of them. So here you can see results of this operation. So it's quite useful if you have to format pretty complicated strings with the multiple numbers and so on. So here on the top I have another 2 pretty interesting functions. So first one is str split. So it allows you to pass like a string to PineScript and also a separator, and PineScript will go through your string file and find all the separators, and it will basically separate your string based on your separator into an array of strings. So here, for example, you can see I have like a string of 1, 2, and 3 separated by a comma, and I pass like a comma is my separator, and as an output I have just 1, 2, 3 as an array of strings, so it's quite useful. And the opposite function is array.join, so you can pass an array of strings or numbers as well, and you also can pass a separator you want to use to kind of glue up your array together in a string again, and it will output you nice a string. And the last family of function is related to searching kind of substrings in strings. So here, for example, the simplest one is str.pos. So you can specify like a string you want to search in, and also you can specify a pattern, and str.pos will output you like a position of this word. So it will search for the first occurrence of your word, and this way you can get starting from what position you have this word in your string. If, for example, here I have an example when I try to find a pattern that doesn't exist in my string, and in this case I want to get any index, I will get not a number value. So this way I know that my pattern doesn't exist in my string. Also, you have a function str.contains, and it's kind of also quite simple. So it just outputs you true or false, depend on if you have your pattern in your string or not. So here, for example, world is there, so I receive true. So it's quite simple. Another two pretty simple functions is str.startWith and str.endWith. And I think you can get idea of how it works based on the name. So if your string starts with the pattern you provided, you'll receive true. But here you can see the world, it's not starting, the world starts with hello. So this is why I have false. But here, for example, I have the function str ends with, and actually my strings end with world, so I receive a true value. So as you can see, it's quite simple. So next function is str.match, and it's a bit more complicated function and a bit more advanced. So how it works? So you pass to this function like a string you want to search for something in, and also you pass like a pattern. And pattern actually can be a regular expression. And regular expressions are not scope of this course. You can Google them, but they can be pretty complicated. So let's look at this one, for example. As you can see here in the square brackets, here I have a letter W, and this means this is any like letter, and after that I have a plus, so this means that I'm looking for a word. After that there should be a colon, and after that it should be another word. And as you can see here, I have like a symbol with exchange code, so Nasdaq colon and a symbol, and basically if you run str.match with this kind of parameters, it will try to search for this pattern in your string, and it will output it to you. So here, for example, as you can see, output of this function is actually my symbol with exchange name. And the last function I want to talk in this video about is the function you can use to replace certain patterns in a string with another one, and you can do this with the str.replace function. So first you have to pass a string you want to work on. After that you pass the pattern you want to search and replace, and after that the third argument is replacement. So here, for example, I have a symbol Nasdaq Apple, and I want to replace Apple with Amazon, and then in result you can see that it works quite well and replaced my Amazon ticker with Apple. Simple, no problem with that. So next let's look at more complicated examples. So what if you have two occurrences of your pattern in your string? So here, for example, I have two symbols, Nasdaq Apple and Nasdaq Apple as well, and I want to kind of replace Nasdaq with bats. So here you can see my second argument is Nasdaq and the third one is bats. And as you can see, it replaces only the first argument for me. It's the first occurrence of my pattern, and it doesn't touch the second one. If you want to choose which occurrence you want to replace, You can use the same str replace function, but you can also include optional fourth argument to say, okay, I want to replace the second occurrence of my pattern. And the first one will be 0, as pattern starts with a 0, counting pattern starts with 0. So as you can see, it works quite well. Now only second pattern was replaced. And also you can use str.replaceAll function, and this just means that PineScript will go through your entire string and will find all the patterns and will replace all of them. So as you can see, it works quite well as well.